What if I told you that a land often overshadowed by its biblical neighbors holds the keys to understanding end-time prophecy? A land where ancient stones echo with stories of kings and prophets, and where the earth bears witness to God's miraculous interventions. Jordan, a nation that remains remarkably stable amidst the turbulence of the Middle East, is not only steeped in historical significance but also central to God's unfolding plan for the world. From the towering mountains of Edom to the sacred waters of the Jordan River, Jordan's past and future are woven into the Bible's grand tapestry of prophecy and redemption. Welcome to Voice of Truth, where we explore the lands, stories, and prophecies that draw us deeper into God's eternal narrative. Today we're embarking on an extraordinary journey through Jordan, a land whose prophetic significance is both ancient and profound. If you find yourself captivated by this story of a nation chosen for a unique role in the end times, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us in the comments below. Let's delve into the past, present, and prophetic future of Jordan, a nation set apart by God for a purpose beyond our understanding. To truly understand Jordan's place in prophecy, we must go back to its earliest roots, to the ancient lands of Moab, Ammon, and Edom. These territories, named after the descendants of Lot and Esau, lie at the heart of modern-day Jordan, each carrying a legacy interwoven with Israel's own history. In Genesis we read of Moab and Ammon, born to Lot's daughters in the mountains east of Canaan, and Edom, founded by Esau, the brother of Jacob. These lands bear the marks of both kinship and conflict, a complex family history of shared heritage, yet fraught with rivalry and tension. Throughout the Old Testament, God's relationship with these nations is one of both judgment and redemption. In Jeremiah 48-49, we see God's hand bringing judgment upon Moab and Ammon for their hostility toward Israel, yet he also promises a future restoration. This dynamic reflects the dual nature of Jordan's role. It stands as both a reminder of God's justice and a testament to his mercy. Here, in the lands of Moab, Ammon, and Edom, we see a foreshadowing of Jordan's prophetic significance, a land that is both part of Israel's story and set apart, symbolizing both separation and reconciliation. As we journey further into Jordan's landscape, we come to one of its most sacred sites, Mount Nebo. In Deuteronomy 34, we read the story of Moses, the prophet who led Israel out of Egypt, standing upon this mountain and gazing into the promised land. God allowed Moses to see the land promised to his people, yet he was not permitted to enter it. Mount Nebo becomes, in this moment, more than a mountain. It becomes a place of vision and limitation, where the boundary between God's promises and human experience is deeply felt. Today, Mount Nebo stands as a powerful symbol, a place of pilgrimage where believers come to reflect on God's promises and the journey of faith. For Moses, it was both an end and a beginning, an invitation to witness the promise while also accepting his place in God's larger plan. Mount Nebo reminds us that God's promises are often glimpsed but not fully grasped, that they require faith and patience beyond what we may fully understand. It is here, on the Jordanian side of the border, that we feel the weight of God's promise, his mercy, and his sovereign timing. Perhaps no site is as deeply connected to Jordan's spiritual significance as the Jordan River. Flowing through the heart of this land, the Jordan River is a sacred boundary, a place of crossing and transformation. In Matthew 3 verses 13-17, we encounter one of the most significant events in the New Testament, the baptism of Jesus by John the Baptist. Here, Jesus comes to the Jordan, marking the beginning of his ministry and embracing a ritual of cleansing and renewal. As he rises from the waters, heaven opens and God's voice declares, "This is my Son whom I love." This act of baptism is not merely symbolic. It transforms the Jordan River into a place where heaven and earth converge, where the divine meets the human. The Jordan becomes a river of spiritual renewal, a boundary that separates the old from the new, sin from salvation. For believers, it is a reminder of our own baptism, our own journey from brokenness to wholeness through the grace of God. The Jordan River flows through time as a symbol of God's faithfulness, a promise of redemption that continues to ripple through the lives of those who follow him. But the Jordan River holds yet another layer of meaning. In the Old Testament, it was at this very river that Joshua led the Israelites into the Promised Land, with God parting its waters much like the Red Sea. This miraculous crossing confirmed God's promise to his people, a reminder that his presence and power go before them. Jesus' baptism here echoes this promise, marking the beginning of a new covenant, one that opens the path of salvation to all who seek it. The Jordan River stands as a place where God's promises are fulfilled, a boundary between the past and the future, where every believer's journey of faith finds its roots. In 2 Kings 2, we come upon another powerful event along the Jordan River, the prophet Elijah's ascension to heaven in a chariot of fire. Elijah, one of Israel's greatest prophets, is taken up near the Jordan, and his mantle passes to his successor, Elisha. This moment is more than a farewell. It's a divine encounter, an intersection where heaven and earth meet in a dramatic display of God's power. Elijah's ascension foreshadows Christ's own departure and return, underscoring Jordan's role as a land of prophetic fulfillment. The story of Elijah reminds us that Jordan is more than a geographical location. It is a place where God makes his presence known, where his voice speaks across generations. Elijah's mantle passing to Elisha signifies that God's work continues, that his promises extend beyond individual lives and into his covenant with humanity. Jordan's spiritual significance is not confined to one prophet or one moment. It is a legacy of faith that speaks of God's enduring plan, a reminder that his purpose spans generations. Hidden within the rugged cliffs of southern Jordan lies the ancient city of Petra, a marvel of architecture and history. Carved into rose-red rock, Petra is an enduring testament to the strength and resilience of the ancient Nabateans. Yet, for many scholars and believers, Petra holds even more significance, as it may play a role in future prophecy. Revelation 12 verse 6 speaks of a woman fleeing to a place prepared by God during the Great Tribulation, and some interpret this as a hint of Petra serving as a place of refuge for Israel in the last days. The natural fortifications of Petra, surrounded by towering cliffs and narrow canyons, create a near-impenetrable fortress, fitting the biblical description of a divinely protected sanctuary. Throughout the Bible, God provides safe havens for his people during times of trial, from the ark in Noah's day to the cities of refuge established in Israel. Petra, too, may serve as a sanctuary in the end times, a stronghold where God's people find protection. This ancient city echoes the themes of God's provision and his promise of refuge for those who seek him in their darkest hours. Jordan's prophetic significance becomes even clearer when we look to Daniel 11 verse 41, which describes a time when Moab, Ammon, and Edom, regions that now lie within Jordan, escape the control of the Antichrist during the end times. This passage suggests that Jordan may serve as a place of refuge or neutrality, a nation set apart during the final days. This exemption points to a unique role for Jordan in God's end-time plan, a role that reflects its historical relationship with Israel as both a neighbor and a place of sanctuary. However, Jordan's role is not without complexity. Other scriptures, such as Obadiah 1 and Ezekiel 25, foretell judgment upon Edom for its enmity toward Israel. This duality, of protection and judgment, positions Jordan as a nation with a profound prophetic responsibility. Today, Jordan's reputation as a stable mediator in regional conflicts, its peace with Israel, and its role as a place of refuge for those fleeing violence all mirror its biblical identity as a land with a special place in God's plan for the end times. From the Jordan River, where Jesus was baptized, to the heights of Mount Nebo, to the ancient strongholds of Petra, Jordan's land holds a divine narrative. It's a nation marked by miracles, a place where God's promises resonate across millennia. Jordan stands as a reminder that God's plans are vast, spanning generations and borders, reaching into the lives of all who seek him. If you're as captivated by Jordan's prophetic legacy as we are, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments if you feel Jordan holds a special role in the unfolding of God's end-time plan. And as always, may we continue to seek God's truth in every journey, in every land, and in every story he has written across the ages.